As I was saying, inflation surged to a fresh 40-year high, with the rise in the Consumer Price Index hitting double digits for the first time in 1982, the year Madonna made her debut, the year Michael Jackson released Thriller, which became the best-selling album of all time. In the here and now, UK inflation has just gone above 10%, much higher than expected by most analysts. The cost of living is soaring, and the bad news is inflation will get worse before it gets better. In June, the Consumer Price Index increased by 9.4% compared to June 2021. Today's figures show that in July, CPI inflation rose 10.1%. That's the 40-year high. It's also more than 5 times the Bank of England's 2% target. Now, the Retail Price Index, that's a broader inflation measure which the bank used to target, that's 12.7% higher last month than July 2021. And then there's the Producer Price Index, which we often talk about here on The Money. It captures the cost of the inputs that firms buy to produce goods and services they sell us, 22.6% higher than a year ago, suggesting there are more cost pressures in the pipeline. Now, this soaring consumer inflation is explained in part by higher food bills and the cost pressures faced by farmers, of course. Food inflation is 12.7% up, according to the Office for National Statistics. Supermarkets are reporting their sales of own brand produce are up by a fifth over recent months as shoppers look to save cash. Rising utility bills, they're also playing a major role. They've doubled for many households over the last year. And with energy regulator Ofgem set to raise its price cap again in October, we're in for more price rises as we go into autumn and winter. Now, the Bank of England and others who previously underestimated price pressures, they highlight the war in Ukraine and the knock-on impact on global gas and wheat prices when trying to explain high inflation. This Russia-Ukraine conflict has made things worse. But inflation was already at a 30-year high back in February, before Putin's invasion. Inflation, to my mind, is being driven by the fact that the world was locked down for 2 years and has yet to fully reboot. While post-lockdown demand has surged, firms and factories everywhere, the global economy, they're still struggling with supply chain issues, and that's pushing prices up. And that is our On the Money question today. Is this a cost of living crisis and a cost of lockdown crisis?